Welcome back to the Hoop Chat. I'm your host, Emily Austin, and here with me today is Minnesota Timberwolves' Matt Ryan, live in Soho. Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely, no problem.
So you guys face the New York Knicks tomorrow. Are you excited?
Oh, so excited.
I saw they sent you a nice bottle of, what was it, tequila? I'm
Who
joking,
did?
by the way. You had like a nice bottle in your room?
Yeah, I guess at the hotel they try and get us.
We're on to you. We're on to you, Leon Rose. All right. I want you to take me through a typical day in the week of a two-way player, kind of what that entails, what your responsibilities are, and if it gets chaotic at times.
Yeah, it gets more chaotic during the season. There's times where, you never know if they're going to ask you to go down to the G League and play a game or two just to, get your wind right and get some reps in. But, it's the same as any other player. We show up, everybody shows up to the gym in the morning, gets your workout in, a little lift, have practice, watch film, get your treatment and get out of there. So it's really no difference than being like a full roster player, except, there's always that point where you could go down, play a couple games in the G League, and that's never a complaint either. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad thing. You go down there, get game reps, play 35, 40 minutes, and then go right back up. So sometimes it gets a little crazy with the travel. You might be, playing one game in Miami, then go play a G League game in Iowa, then have to fly to California and meet back up with the regular team. So it can get tricky, but, every day being an NBA is a blessing. No matter who you ask, they'll say that. So never a complaint.
Love the appreciation. Wow.
Of course.
You had a great problem. You were at Notre Dame and then transferred to another great school, Vanderbilt. What went through that process and why did you transfer?
Yeah, so, taking it back, I went to Notre Dame. I fell in love with the school, everything about it, the tradition, the football, the basketball, the family feel, their value-based university. And so I fell in love with it. And I went there and, my goal was always the NBA, and I thought going there would help me. After a couple of years, I came to a realization that I could give myself a better chance of making an NBA if I went elsewhere. And that's what I did. I went to Vanderbilt, had a sit-out. That's when the sit-out rule was still in effect. These kids don't have to deal with that anymore. They can transfer every year. But I had to sit out, and then when I finally got to play, I was playing with Darius Garland. He was our point guard. 4 games into the season, he tears his meniscus, out for the year. We end up having a terrible year, and my coach gets fired.
Wow.
And so I'm graduating from Vanderbilt. They're bringing in a new coach, Coach Jerry Stackhouse. But, when you're going to a school, you're going to play for the coach that recruited you. So my coach was leaving. So I ended up doing my 5th year at Tennessee Chattanooga for a coach named Lamont Paris. He's at South Carolina now. And that was the best decision I think I've ever made, was going to play for him. After transferring a couple times, not really doing much at the college level yet, having the opportunity to go to a mid-major school and, play a lot of minutes and, kind of do a lot of different things on the court. That's really when I fell back in love with it and just wanted to continue to chase my dream.
I think it was about a year or two ago. You actually went pretty viral when people found out you were doing DoorDash in between.
Yeah.
It was college and then the NBA.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. So my 5th year of college was 1920, and right before the NCAA tournament was when COVID hit, and obviously that affected everybody in their unique ways. But for me, it put a stalemate on the start of my career. I finished college, and then I didn't have pretty much any pro prospects at the time. I didn't want to go overseas because, COVID over there.
Right.
There were so many restrictions, and it was just such a mess everywhere. And so I just stayed home in Westchester, New York. I was home from May of 2020 all the way until through the next May of 2021, even into the summer. And during that time, I was kind of going a little stir crazy, just being home. I would go to the gym for 5 hours a day and play with my dogs. And I kind of just wanted to do something else, make a little money for myself. And so, I still wanted that flexibility where whatever job I was doing, I could just stop at a moment's notice and go play. And so that was my decision to do DoorDash. And I worked at like a family cemetery in Yonkers, New York. My grandparents have a stoning business, so I was outside in snow, freezing cold weather, working at a cemetery. But, no matter what I was doing, I was still in the gym, at least 4 hours a day, just working my butt off. So, that's just that's part of the story now, right? We all have, amazing things that, we do to get to where we want to be. And that's my story. And it's a pretty good one when I look back on it.
I think it's a great one. And if that's not the definition of a success come up story, I don't know what can be. But it sounds like you're a workaholic. It sounds like you can't sit still.
For sure. Absolutely. I mean, every day I'm in the gym. Off days, there is no such thing as off days, especially as a two-way player. You're always trying to, get the next, best contract, always, be ready for that opportunity. And, that's been ingrained in me since, I was being raised in the sport and in the sports world. And, everybody I looked up to, they always preached it. When I started playing basketball, I was looking up to J.J. Redick. And all I listened to were his interviews on ESPN when he was dominating at Duke, and how his coaches were preaching about his work ethic and how bad he wanted it. And as my role model, I wanted to do exactly what he was doing, and that's what I did. And I just never gave up. That was the key. I could have easily gave up, started working in the city. I had a degree from Vanderbilt, but I just didn't want to do that. I just wanted to keep playing basketball and reach my goals.
Without being too cliche, I feel like this is the perfect time to now tell anyone who maybe feels like they're in the same boat as you, maybe thinking about giving up on their dreams. I think we all can relate to that a little bit, but you did not, and it worked out for you.
Yeah.
So what would your message be to those kids?
I think everybody has their own situations, right? And, if you have 100% belief that you can do something and, the work that you put in backs that belief, then you're giving yourself the best chance you can to reach your goals. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have my work ethic, match what I believed I could do. And ultimately, when the opportunity came, I was ready for it because of all the time that I had put in. So, for the people that are, maybe are thinking that their goals are far away or they're unattainable, if you truly 100% believe that you can do it, and you love it and you're willing to sacrifice and do whatever it takes, that's all you can really do until you get the opportunity. And then, after all those hours, when that opportunity comes, are you going to be ready? And that's the advice I would give. Just be ready for that opportunity.
You know which quote I like? Someone help me out here. What's the quote that says, not hard work beats opportunity? Like when luck meets opportunity. You know what I'm trying to say?
When luck meets...
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. What
Chris,
is it?
man.
Yeah.
Luck
absolutely.
is when opportunity meets preparation. I'm going to pretend I came up with that.
Because then everybody thinks you're lucky, but nope.
It's
like when you get that opportunity, if you weren't ready, then you're not going to get lucky.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Good job.
Shout out to Chris, as usual. Yeah, I mean, definitely not on the same boat, but my whole life I thought I'd be a doctor. And when I had to break the news to my parents that I was not going to pursue med school, and I told them, I want to work on TV. You can imagine the reaction that we got. But listen, kids, now we're on the hoop chat with an NBA player. So if this is not the definition of chase your dreams, do not listen to the haters. They don't want the best for you. Only you know what's best for you, and maybe your mom. But anyway.
Definitely your mom.
Definitely mom. If things did not turn out the way that they did, what would you see yourself doing right now?
Probably after college, I would have used the degrees I had. A Vanderbilt degree, friendships and connections from Notre Dame, plus an MBA, which I finished a year after my 5th year. I'd be working in the city, most likely.
Wall Street kid?
I don't know, Wall Street. I don't know if I would want to be sitting behind a desk. I could see myself kind of traveling a little bit, maybe like investor relations, stuff like that, trying to, bring investments into firms. And
I feel like you'd be the guy. so cliche. You'd be the guy that has to like live half of the time in Singapore and the other half in Manhattan.
I would hope it's Europe. I would want to be in Europe and then come back to the city just to like touch base with the firm.
With society. All right. Take me back a little bit. COVID hits. It kind of stunted your NBA pursuit.
Yeah.
What changed that actually led you to signing with the Celtics?
So during the summer of 21, which was a year and a half since I played my last game in college, I was getting ready to actually go to Australia. I was talking to a couple teams in the NBL, and we were moving towards contract negotiations. luckily, I get a call from the Cleveland Cavaliers to go to Summer League. And during that summer, it wasn't in July when it normally is. It was actually like in August. And that was like right when most people leave for Europe. So I was kind of putting Europe, Australia on the back burner. I was going to go to Summer League and see what happened. And I was ready. Got to go to Cleveland for a few days for practice. We went to Vegas and didn't play in the first game. But I was watching and just telling myself, like, you're going to go in there and kill it. Like, you're just so ready for this. Like, this is the opportunity you've been waiting for this whole time. You better make it count. That second game comes, and I hit like 4 or 5 threes, got my opportunity. And then that week I got offered a contract from Denver. Went to Denver's G League team later in the season, signed a 2-way with Boston. Got to go to the finals, experience all that. And here we are, a year and a half later, entering year 3 of my pro career, and couldn't be happier.
Tell me more about the finals run.
When people ask me, it was so much fun, and I wasn't even playing because I was on a 2-way. Like, 2-ways in the playoffs, like, you can't even suit up. Like, you do practice, you do everything, but when the game comes, you wear this during the game, and you're basically just cheering your teammates on and, you know, taking it in, experiencing it. But what I tell everybody was like being on like a TV show. The NBA, I think, is like a reality TV show from like all year round.
That's
it's like
not a bad idea.
It is like a 365 day.
It's not a bad idea. Wait, you're onto something here.
It
We're
is.
not going to let that go.
But
I just want to be on it at first.
I don't know if we're onto it first. ESPN's onto it. TNT's onto it.
A reality show?
It is, but in itself, it's a reality TV show. You have all these different storylines. You have all these different characters. You have, you know, these basically like the top NBA players like are celebrities, you know, multi-millionaires. Like, people look up to us, have so much notoriety around the world. We get so much attention. It's like being on a TV show. And then when you go into the playoffs and especially into the finals, like, the attention gets magnified. It gets blown up. There's not as many outside forces to focus on. Like, during the regular season, the media is focused on 30 teams. As you go into the playoffs and deeper, like, the amount of players that the media can focus on dwindles down. And you get to the finals, it's 2 teams. Every sports network in the world is talking about the best players on each team every day. And the amount of media, like, you have, when you get into the playoffs, you have practices that are designated for media.
Oh, yeah.
So like the first half hour or an hour of a practice would be open to the media. And we'll already be on the court stretching, and then boom, the doors open. And we were in TD Garden. I remember we were in Boston. The line of media streaming into TD Garden, and they circled the whole court and went up like 10 rows.
What?
It was at least, I would say, 200, 300, 400 media members with cameras and from all different countries, all different networks, all different languages. And it was just mayhem. And
does that ever get weird?
I don't. To me, actually, yeah, it's like a little weird.
Like, ever like, hey, they could read our lips, like cover your mouth.
Yeah, like they're reading lips, they're zooming in on you no matter what. But it's part of it. You know, you just gotta take what it is, and that's what I thought it was. Going to the finals was like being on a reality TV show with each storyline, each little injury, each little matchup. You know, this guy has this many turnovers. You know, they're just nitpicking everything, and it was cool. It was really cool to be a part of, for sure.
Wow. So you played with Grant?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can debunk this myth for us. Does Deuce Tatum actually have beef with Grant?
Deuce definitely had an attitude with Grant. But I think last season, I wasn't there anymore, and I was seeing videos of Deuce maybe warming up to him. But when I was there, Deuce wanted no parts of Grant. Grant would try too, because Grant and Jason had a little pregame routine where Grant would play like fake defense on Jason, and you know, Grant would try and give Deuce high fives. He would run away. Deuce is a cute kid though, but I don't know if he liked Grant too much.
Grant, you lied.
Listen, that's what I said. Maybe it got better.
No, maybe it did, but we're Team Deuce out here.
Grant could be lying though. I don't know.
I'm with Deuce. Grant, if you're watching this, I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a side here. Who is your Rookie of the Year prediction?
Okay, that's a good question. So who are the favorites?
So who is it? Chet, Scoot, Wemby. There's one more in the conversation.
Well, you had Brandon Miller. He was the 2 pick? 3.
Has he been in the conversations?
I think he should be. I think he's super talented. 6'9", like mini Paul George in the making. But when you look at all the favorites, they have Victor, Chet, and again, an argument with Chet. It's kind of like the Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons thing all over again, where Ben Simmons didn't play his first year in the league because he was injured. And then Donovan's actual rookie year was Ben's second year, but his first year playing. And Ben won Rookie of the Year over Donovan.
Yeah.
And so that was like a whole thing. But now,
do you think that's fair? I don't know how I feel about it.
Listen, I don't know if that's for me to say if it's fair or not, but you have that again with Chet, sat out all last year, got to be in an NBA organization, around it, traveling, get acclimated to the lifestyle of it. It's definitely a huge advantage. And, Chet has that kind of leg up over, I would say Victor and Scoot. But, man, if I were to go with one, I would probably say Victor because of just how much he's going to have the ball. When you look at OKC, Shea is going to be dominating the ball.
That's a good point, actually.
But, Chet's going to have plenty of opportunity. In OKC, too, they have Josh Giddey, they have Jaden Williams. Like, these guys are very good. I think in San Antonio, they're going to, live with Victor.
Yeah.
Just, he's going to have awful games. He's going to have great games. But night in and night out, he's going to be their guy. And so I think at the end of the day, he's probably going to have better numbers. And ultimately, that's kind of what decides Rookie of the Year.
It's actually a great point. I didn't think about that. I don't know. Since you can't comment on it, I will say I don't think that's fair. Because, well, you know what? No, let's break it down. Wemby also, it's not like he's coming out of college. He's coming from France. It's still very competitive. I watched some of those European games.
He's been playing pro.
Yeah, those are not a joke. Like, European basketball, they take very seriously.
Yeah. But when I think back to like the Donovan and Ben Simmons, I have a little bias because I grew up with Donovan, playing with him. He's from Westchester. I was leaning towards Donovan just because of how spectacular he was, how unexpected it was.
Yeah.
And to do that on a playoff team, the way he did it was so exciting. He was dunking on dudes. He was making threes. He had made such a jump from his sophomore year at Louisville to his rookie year numbers. Like, he didn't look like a rookie at all. And that's why I would have went with Donovan over Ben. Especially because Ben had a year in the league, even though he was hurt. He had that year in the league to get acclimated to the traveling, to the training. Donovan didn't have that. He went straight from college. People really didn't expect much from him going to a playoff team with veterans and expectations. And then, I don't know exactly what his numbers were, but I think he averaged over 20 and
I remember.
was just phenomenal. So that's why I would have went with Donovan. So, but if Victor has a great year and Chet has similar numbers, I would go with Victor because it's his first year over here.
It's true. It's a good point, actually. Very valid. I want to hear your thoughts on that. For the Austin Awards, I'm going to give you a ranking. So for you, we're going to do best shooters 1 to 3, first being the best, third being the lesser of them. Best shooters, but Steph Curry is not on the list because it's an obvious answer.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson, Ray Allen, Larry Bird.
Klay, Larry, and who? And Reggie, you said?
Ray Allen.
And Ray Allen. Man.
The Austin Awards are never easy.
I really don't want to disrespect Larry Bird.
Neither do I.
But I just have that kind of recency bias where, like, I've played against Klay. I grew up watching Ray. I never saw Larry.
You never played against Larry?
No.
Joking.
Unfortunately, I never got to play against Larry. So, for me, I would probably put Larry 3 on that list. I would.
Gotcha.
Klay and Ray, man, it's just two of the best forms that you'll ever see. Like any shooter growing up, you gotta study how they shoot, and I definitely did that as well as JJ Redick. But I'll probably at this point go Klay over Ray.
Klay over Ray.
Klay over Ray because Klay has played such an integral role in winning 4 championships. And I don't mean to bring in like the championship debate, how that defines players, but to play the role that he did in all of those championships, especially the first one, I would have to go Klay, Ray, Larry.
Klay, Ray. I like that, like the duo.
I know.
How they rhyme. That was tough for you. I'm glad. I posted that you'd be coming on, and a fan wanted to know, do you have a best DoorDash story? They proceeded to say how, as a DoorDash driver, this fan was a DoorDash driver, they witness psycho people all the time. And they asked if we can ask you if you've ever encountered a crazy person.
No, I
Sorry.
never encountered a crazy person, but I will admit that there was one time I was doing DoorDash and Uber Eats at the same time. And I still remember this like it was yesterday. I picked up, the two stores were right next to each other.
Uh-huh.
The DoorDash delivery was that way. The Uber Eats was that way. And so I went to this one first, and I felt so bad for this person because it took me like an hour
No.
to deliver their food. And I felt so bad. It was like a young 20s like girl. Like she was just waiting for her food. I felt so bad.
No.
And so I told her, like, listen, I'm so sorry. She's
You
like,
could
"Hey."
apologize to her. She'll watch it.
If you're watching, you definitely don't remember that. But that's like the only story I got. And, you know, it is what it is. Sorry.
Accountability is key. We
Yeah.
respect an honest king.
I felt so bad.
I mean, being on the receiving end, honestly, I don't get pissed when it takes a long time. Like I'm being lazy, so I just wait.
Right now when I
I'm
order,
being
I'm
lazy.
like, as long as the food gets here, the bag is still sealed,
Yeah.
and it has everything that I ordered. Like, it could take 2 hours as long as it has everything I ordered.
Yeah.
If it comes to me in 20 minutes and it's missing like the Chick-fil-A sauce,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's on site.
am I really about to order the 8-ounce Chick-fil-A sauce? Yes, I'm
Absolutely.
gonna. But that's such an inconvenience. So as
Yeah, I
long as
feel you.
everything comes.
Yeah. Anyway, I could go on and on about Uber Eats. I'm still waiting for my money back from that 4-hour delivery.
Oh my God. No, DoorDash is great.
DoorDash, you know, I never even downloaded it. I'm going to download it.
Stop. What?
Yeah, because I was such an Uber Eats like fanatic.
No.
I never felt, you know, like don't fix what's not broken. Now Uber Eats is broken. Because now it takes me like in Washington, D.C., literally took me 3 hours for an order that was down the block. Again, my fault. I was lazy. I could have went and gotten it, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, no, you don't want it.
So yeah, whatever.
You want to sit on
DoorDash.
your couch, watch Netflix,
Exactly.
or do whatever, scroll Instagram, and just track where your food is.
Walk 5 minutes. Pff,
Come on,
You're
man.
nuts.
Who wants to do that?
We're doing a segment. It's new, and all it entails is you telling us what is your favorite dunk.
My favorite dunk?
Either one that you've done on someone or just your favorite dunk of all time.
I've dunked on one person in my life, and it was my sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
That's how long it's been. So that, for me, is my favorite dunk, because back in high school when I had a little bounce, I'll remember that forever. But my favorite dunk, to me, it's like one that didn't count from a couple of years ago. It was Ant Edwards on Yuta Watanabe.
Mm-hmm.
On the left baseline. I don't know if this is ringing a bell for you guys. This was Ant's rookie year. No fans in the building. Ant goes baseline, puts his stomach like at the rim. It was crazy, but they called it charge, and it didn't count. That was my favorite dunk. Now, are you asking me like creative wise favorite dunk?
Literally, it's totally up to you.
Listen, I love watching guys that can really dunk do it. I want no parts. Like, I'll stay on the 3-point line. I'll stay in my little mid-range pull-ups. Like, the dunking, I'm going to save that for the guys that can do it. But, you know, watching guys, like, throw it off the backboard, put it between their legs. Like, I love watching that.
Yeah, that's
It's
sick.
so cool. Like, guys can just do that.
Yeah, we had Mac McClung on, and he was like the king of dunks.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal dunker. And he's like, what, 6'1",
Yeah.
6'2", little, like, white kid doing it at the highest level. It's great. One of my favorite stories that I've told people was, do you know who Derrick Jones is?
Of course.
On the
yeah.
Mavs. So Derrick, me and him have been playing against each other since freshman year of high school. He's from like Philly, Delaware area. And my first time seeing him was we were playing 15 under AAU, and it was a tournament in Delaware. And I didn't know who he was, and you know, I knew they had a good team, we had a good team, and we're in layup lines. 15 years old. Like,
That's so
and
funny.
I had just turned 15. Like, I have a spring birthday. My freshman year, I just turned 15. And so we're doing our layup lines, and like, I'm looking over to the other side of the court, and I see this 6'5", 6'6", skinny kid throwing the ball off the backboard, putting it between his legs, and not just like barely making it, like banging it. And I'm like, I just started like fingertip dunking. It's my freshman year of high school. Like, I'm just hitting like puberty. And on the other side of the court, this kid looks like he's like in his 5th year in the NBA already. Now, we end up beating them good too, and I had a great game. But I'll always remember that, because then a few years later, he's in a dunk contest putting on a show, and I'm like, man, this kid's been doing it forever. And
I knew him from day one, guys.
he's special, and there's a bunch of guys like that have some special balance. Like Zach LaVine is unreal.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, you know, he said he's never going to do a dunk contest again, but he's already given us some some unreal dunks. So, those guys are special. I love watching them.
Well, on behalf of the Hoop Chat, I hope I get to see you dunk on someone this year. We'd love to see it.
Listen, the way that the defense has been treating me now, like running me off the line, not letting me shoot threes, I have a good feeling Elaine is going to just, part, and I'm going to see the rim, and hopefully nobody comes and, blocks it against the backboard, because
We
that
hope
won't be
so,
good.
too.
But I have a good feeling it'll happen. There's so many games. It's going to happen eventually.
Amen.
I'm going to speak it into existence.
Exactly. That's what we do here. We manifest. All right. For this next segment, right before you go, we love to play a game. Obviously, it's no secret you share a name, Matt Ryan, with a former NFL quarterback who's no longer playing, but that must have been very annoying. And being an Emily Austin can relate, it is not fun. But it makes great conversation for a game where we're going to show you two celebrities with the same exact name, but you need to guess who they are. We have the pictures for you.
Okay.
So, easiest round.
Can I look?
You can look.
Michael Jordan.
And...
Michael Jordan.
Wow. Okay. That was the easy
Michael
one.
B. Jordan.
We're warming up.
What he's known as.
We're warming up. Dude, I don't even know if I know these.
Oh, bro. Hold on. Who's the other person?
I'll give you a hint, because if I show you the other person, you're gonna get it immediately.
That is the hint.
Hold up.
He shares the same name as one of your teammates.
Mike Conley?
That was impressive. I was like, do I even know the answer? This one's good.
Oh my god. What's his name? Oh my god. See, I'm actually not good at this. I don't remember people's names. I have no idea.
Wait, I have no idea either.
I know who both of these people are. I just have no idea what their name is. Absolutely, I need the answer.
Wait, hint first. I'm
How do
guessing
you
with
give
you.
a
This
hint-
is
how
so
do you give a hint
fun.
on a name?
Yeah, I don't know how he would give a hint with this. I literally
All right. Give it to us. Adam Scott.
Man.
professional golfer, actor. This one is difficult because we're going by the second person's legal government name.
Do you know
Isn't that
either of
Ka-
them?
Is that not Katy Perry? Am I tripping?
It's Katy Perry, but that's not her real name.
Oh, man, bro, I don't know. Dude.
You gotta think of
I know. I got the answers before, even though I forgot that second one. Can I guess? Yeah, Kate Hudson.
Really? Okay.
But you don't know that Kate Hudson? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
She doesn't look the same right there.
Sorry, Kate.
She might have got a little work done.
Kate Hudson and Kate Hudson. Well, we miserably failed that game. You actually did better than me, and I had the answer, so congratulations. Matt, I know you have a dinner to go to, but thank you so much for joining the Hoop Chat, and we had a blast having you here.
Can't wait to be back. Thank you.